This is Noelle at Oakwood Village Petitti's, and look what is in the greenhouse and in the garden center. We're already starting to get some great fall color. So I wanted to talk to you about some of these plants because maybe you're not so familiar with some of them because there's some new things out there this season. So first of all, I wanted to show you the celosia. Celosia family we normally see in the summertime. It's a good summer crop. Sometimes you see the coxcomb type where they sort of have that wrinkled flower. Sometimes you see the spiky type as well. Well, believe it or not, these guys make a great fall accent plant. So plant them with your mums, your pansies, and violas, and they will do really, really well into the cooler parts of fall. This is dragon's breath. This is intense purple, and there's a pink and lots of other different colors. So do look for the celosia, and they do great in full sun and drier conditions. So they're really, really good. This one right by me here is actually a doubled aster. It's called Henry. And there are quite a few asters available, especially in perennials and here, where you're going to find they do a really nice job of giving you some later summer into fall color. So do take a look at the asters. They're a good alternative if you want something a little bit different that is sort of mum shaped like, if you will, but different colors as well. The kale and the cabbage. So the kale is the one with the real ruffly leaves, or kind of sharper leaves, if you will. The cabbage is the one with the entire leaves. There are whites, pinks, purples, lavender colored cabbage and kale. They are considered to be ornamental plants. You can still eat them though, believe it or not. Okay, so they are edibles. And the real big key with these guys is get them planted, and as we get cooler and cooler and cooler into the fall season and even in winter, the color intensifies. So they might look a little bit pale right now, a little soft or pastel color, but as we get into the cooler season, they're gonna look awesome. So do look for these, and I really like to use these in winter containers as well. So fall into winter, fantastic, okay? The ornamental peppers up front, I've got a couple different varieties. You're going to see some peppers with different variegated foliage, different fruit shapes. This one's sangria right in front of me with this kind of narrow shape here, but it has the purple and the red fruit. Some of the others will change and have cream, orange, yellow, reds. So really look for these ornamental peppers. Again, they love the heat. You know how peppers grow. They really do, they love the sun, the heat. So if you can keep them out there in a sunny space as long as possible, once it gets a little bit cooler though, they might droop a little bit. So this is a nice plant to have out in the fall containers, especially if we have a good Indian summer. And then you can bring them in and use them as a windowsill plant, real sunny window, okay? So do look for these, lots of different colors and varieties, and they are wonderful. Do be aware though, these ornamental peppers can be very hot. There's only a couple of different varieties that are on the milder side. For the most part, they are extremely, extremely spicy, so be careful when you're handling them. We've got the pansies and the violas. Violas are going to be a smaller flower. Pansies are going to be a larger flower. They are in the same family, and they do so great in the fall. Plant them at this time of year. You'll have color in fall, going into winter, and then also in spring. So this is a great time to really get those pansies and violas out there. I have rudbeckia here. So there's some beautiful new rudbeckia varieties. They're part of the Smileys series, and they have beautiful coloration, and they're really gorgeous. This type of rudbeckia, just so you know, is a reseeding type. They don't necessarily come back from their root base, so they're not considered a true perennial, but make sure that these seed heads produce seed, and then you just help them out by just kind of spreading the seed out around in the garden, and they'll come back for you, okay? I also have a number of grasses here. This one, this tall, real dark maroon, is called Princess Caroline. She's going to be the tallest one and the biggest one out in the garden. She's going to have those beautiful maroon plumes when they start to come out. So if you want a really big, dark maroon accent, go for Princess Caroline. If you're looking for something a little bit smaller and a little bit different habit, if you will, these are millets right here. And I've got Copper Prince, so you can see that copper foliage there. And this is Jade Princess. Look at how pretty her foliage is. Real light green, almost chartreusey green. And look at these pinky seed heads coming out. So they're really pretty ornamentals to kind of plant as a spike or a background plant. That really good thriller plant in a container garden. And you can even put them out in the landscape. Any of these can go in containers or landscapes. We're going to show you that in a little bit. The last thing that I need to mention, because Taylor's told me I have to mention it. We've got the fall mums, okay, folks? The best selection is right now. So if you come into the garden center, you want a certain color, you'll find it at this time of year. Also, our tip here for growing is if you plant them now, early on in the season, they will establish themselves better and become a better rooted perennial for you down the line. So if you want to have these come back for you, do plant them early. So as soon as they come out in the garden centers, grab your favorite colors, get them planted in the garden. The other tip is leave the foliage and the stems up over the winter, let it die back naturally, don't cut them back at all, and just let them sit out in the garden. And then I want you to mulch them with 3 or 4 inches of mulch for the winter time, and that will get them through, and you should have beautiful mums coming back for you the following season, okay? Enjoy.